Back in the 70s and 80s, the gym scene was just different. The moment you stepped inside, you could literally feel that raw energy in the air. It hit you instantly.
The old Gold's Gym was like, oh my God, the energy was so thick, you walk in the door and you couldn't stand it. You didn't even need to eat it, you didn't need to sleep.
Now today, getting ready to smash a back workout. This is all out, full intensity. Every ounce of energy you've got goes into it. That's the mindset. Way before all the high-tech equipment and social media trends, training was raw and simple. Back in the 70s, guys relied on old-school movements, things you almost never see in gyms anymore. These weren't flashy exercises. They were tough, basic, and brutally effective. That's what built those thick, dense backs and that kind of power you can't fake. That era was different. Everyone had their own style. The intensity was ruthless. They weren't following what was popular. They were building physiques with movements that have pretty much disappeared today.
Very demanding.
So let's break it down and get into those lost exercises. We're starting off with a heavy hitter, bent over barbell rows. This is one of those movements you just can't replace. If you want a thick, wide back, this is it. No rows, no real back. Simple as that. For me, this is a go-to mass builder. Stand on a block to get that extra stretch, that deeper stretch at the bottom, that extra range. It makes a difference.
When you go down, as you're doing the barbell bend row, you want to enable yourself to have a complete stretch.
All the legends used this. Arnold, Lou Ferrigno, Franco, Lee Haney. Pretty much every top guy from the 70s and 80s had this locked into their back day.
This exercise is the primary mass builder for a thick, wide back. Follows no specific set and rep philosophy, but instead trains by feeling until he reaches a deep pain in the muscle in each set.
Go with a wider grip and pull the bar up toward the lower chest area. You can load this one pretty heavy, but don't just yank it. Control it and really squeeze at the top. That contraction is everything.
Always remember, the mind and the muscle must be linked together. One without the other equals zero or equals injury. A good grip on the ball, a little more than shoulder width is excellent. That's what I would highly recommend. Okay? Here we go. You want to inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down.
This movement hits your whole back, builds that thickness, that density, the kind of look you need on stage.
Lower exposure to make sure you get a good stretch at the bottom.
And back in the day, they didn't need perfect gyms. You'd even see them doing this outside, on the beach. Sometime they do it on a bench.
The bar could be on a block or on a bench, as long as you're balanced. Now, bend forward to your upper body parallel to the ground. The closer you take the grip, works the lower lat. The wider the grip works the upper lat.
Here you can see the photo. Arnold doing rows while balancing on a bench. Not easy at all. You've got to control the weight and keep your balance the whole time.
The second you walked in the gym, you heard it. Plates clanging, plates smashing together as guys move serious weight, bars moving up and down non-stop. That raw noise filled the whole place. It just fired you up instantly. That was the golden era. No fake stuff, no rubber-coated plates, no one hiding behind headphones. Just raw, old-school music playing in the background and pure focus. No social media, no distractions. The gym was where people came together. It was a brotherhood, a place where everyone pushed each other and respected the grind.
All right, next up, another old school move people barely touch anymore, behind the neck pull-ups. Back in the golden era, pull-ups were a must. Every serious bodybuilder was doing them. They didn't just stick to one version either. regular pull-ups were always in the routine. And once body weight got too easy, they'd strap weight to their waist and keep going. That was normal back then. Weighted pull-ups were a staple, not something rare like you see today.
A basic yet very effective back exercise. Chin-ups can be performed with additional weight strapped on to build mass. Do as many strict repetitions as you can. Then have your spotter help you do some forced reps until failure. Samir often completes his movement with an inverted chin-up to really burn the lats completely.
Have you ever seen inverted chin-ups before? Those guys were doing some crazy stuff back then. Totally wild. And this time, not just regular pull-ups, they'd take it behind the head. Wide grip, always. Pull yourself up as high as possible, getting that bar close to the back of your neck. Then drop all the way down and really stretch those lats out. That's the key. Full range, no half reps. You pull up hard, control it, and at the top, you squeeze everything. That's how they built those wide, detailed backs.
By adding weight, we make the exercise even more difficult. As you can see, I'm chinning behind the head. This still works the upper and outer part of your lats. If chin-ups are too easy for you, just add weight.
Here, you can see how Tom Platz is banging out those pull-ups. Man, it's crazy. He's flying through reps, super fast. You don't really see anyone going that wild with it these days. Back in the golden era, when it came to training back, those guys were obsessed with width. That's why so many of them had those crazy wide backs, big V-tapers, lats flaring out like wings, almost like a curtain is opening. And to build that look, they relied on movements you barely see anymore. One of the big ones, behind the neck lat pulldowns. These days, everyone do normal lat pull-downs to the front, but back then, they'd bring the bar down behind the head. The whole idea was to stretch the lats wide and force them to spread out. That's how they built that insane back.
Okay. Here we go. Go down from behind. Head straight out in front of you. Back arched. You're not going to be able to use as much weight on pull down to the behind as you will from the front.
It's one of the best moves for creating width, especially hitting that upper part of the back. You pull it down, squeeze hard at the bottom, then control it back up and go again with power. Rep after rep. That's where the growth comes from. That's why this exercise was such a staple back then.
But it's all up in here. You got to put that mind to muscle, concentrate on pulling with your back and using your hand as hooks, okay?
Next one, seated rows. Yeah, I know. You still see people doing this today, but back then, it wasn't on some fancy machine. Guys were literally sitting on the floor pulling the weight raw. And the way they did it, totally different. Today, everything is perfect form, textbook technique, all clean and controlled. Back then, nah, it was all about feel. You moved the weight in a way that hit your back the hardest. You'd lean way forward, get that deep stretch, really let the lats open up. Then as you pull back, you drive the chest up and squeeze everything hard. That's where it really kicks in.
So you stretch the hamstrings out, make sure that they're flexed. Lean forward, a good stretch. Come out, throw the chest forward. What you're doing, you're arching the back on the way up. Okay? Lean forward, good stretch. Throw the chest outward. Lean forward, good stretch. Throw the chest outward. Now, a cable roll will enable you to get a little bit more isolation. You can isolate the upper trapezium region. You can isolate the rear delt. You can isolate the middle portion of the lats and the lower lumbar region.
Every rep, chest up, squeeze the back, keep that tension the whole time. And honestly, some days, reps didn't even matter. You just kept going, pushed past the pain, forced out one more rep, then another, until you found your limit. No counting, no, I'm stopping at 10. Who decided failure happens at 8 or 10 reps? Back then, you just went until you couldn't anymore. All right, moving on. Exercise number 5, T-bar rows. Yeah, I know people still do this today, but I had to bring it up because back then, this was a staple. Every serious bodybuilder had this in their routine. This one is all about thickness, that deep, dense look through the middle of the back. That's what this builds.
You don't want it, baby. Do you want it?
Now, T-bars are great for building overall width and depth in the back.
You control the weight on the way down. Don't just drop it. Then drive it back up with power. Every rep, you've got to feel it working. That kind of intensity, that's what gave those guys that heavy, packed out back.
You want to get good quality repetitions in. 1 rep equals 2 reps. Stimulate, not annihilate. Keep that in mind. There again, since the lower back is very much involved in T-bar rows, you want to wear a belt as added protection. Because it's not every day you're going to be bending over and picking up 200 or 300 pounds.
If you're chasing that crazy 3D V-taper look, you can't just train one angle. You've got to hit the muscle from everywhere. And these bent-over movements are a must. Back in the golden era, it was all about heavy, basic lifts. Stuff that tested your strength, your balance, your control. And the T-bar row, that was one of the main tools. That's how they built those thick slabs of muscle right through the center of the back.
I believe very much that bodybuilding is more mental than physical, and handles and muscles. You're concerned with putting your mind in the muscle.
All right, moving on. Exercise number 6, behind the neck press. Back in the 70s, this was everywhere. Almost every bodybuilder had this in their routine, especially on back days. It was a big deal back then. It's kind of similar to a pull-down in terms of position, but this is all free weight, so you can really load it heavy. You can do it seated or standing. Take a wide grip, bring the bar down slow and controlled behind your head, around ear level, or as low as your shoulders can safely handle. This one lights up the side delts, rear delts, traps, even the upper back gets hit hard. It was one of those movements that helped build that thick, powerful upper frame. Behind the neck pull-downs, behind the neck pull-ups. Not flashy, not trending, but they got the job done. and they still do. These days, you don't see them much. People say they're risky, unnecessary, all that. It puts your shoulders in a tough position, especially on rotator cuff muscles, the smaller stabilizer muscles, and that's where injuries can happen. That's why most people avoid it now. It's all about playing it safe. But back in the golden era, different story. Those guys had the mobility, the control, and they knew exactly what they were doing. And these movements, they played a big role in building some of the widest backs ever seen in bodybuilding. Today, a lot of people look at them as more risk than reward, especially for the average lifter. But in the right hands, with the right body, they were powerful tools.